All right. So, hello, everybody. I
Hello.
am
Hello.
so happy to
Hello.
see you. This is a panel of women in IT experts. And I just want to tell everybody, first of all, my name is Nariman Mansour. I have special love for these ladies, a very special relationship with them. Let me introduce you. These are the founders, the original founders of INT and the WINT chapter, Women Innovators in Technology. They have graduated. Has it been 3 years? Three
It's
years?
becoming
Yeah,
3 years soon.
Yes,
almost.
2.5 years for now.
yes.
Yeah.
And they've found their career path. And I think it's only right that we touch base with them and find out about what have they been doing, where are they now in their lives, in their career, to give you advice, to hear about what a day is like in their lives, some of the challenges they faced, be it as a woman in IT or just in general in their career. And then finally, to find out about how they're surviving like the rest of us. How are they surviving this virus situation? So, how about we start by allowing each one of you ladies to introduce yourself? So maybe you can give us your name, job title, and anything you'd like to share with the rest of us, if you like, about where you come from or anything you'd like to add to the formula would be highly appreciated. Who would like to start? Maybe Fary, if you would like, you could go ahead and start. I'm putting you
Okay.
on the spot.
Yeah, I was like, me, the first one. Okay, my name is Fary, and it's about 2.5 years that I graduated from LaSalle College, computer science. But before that, I had no background in computer science. I had studied biology, and then I had done some managerial, like general thing in different industries, and I had my own back and forths a lot. And then I landed on the the computer science program in LaSalle College. I was really lucky to have all the experiences with the INT organization and everything. It was amazing, the experience. And I was working as a developer in a company with Manpreet. We were together. But now I'm not working. At this moment, I'm not working, and I'm preparing for the next steps in the career. I'm trying to learn a little bit more, find out more about job positions, job roles, what exactly is gonna satisfy me. Because
Can you,
now it's
Fary, tell us what was your job specialization?
well, I was my title was a developer, but I
Mhm.
wasn't actually doing development. I was in the hotfix team, and I was doing mostly the database manipulation sometimes, and my daily life was mostly SQL language plus some communication with the project managers in terms of the needs, the specific needs of clients that we were responsible to do. Like we did some reporting analysis sometimes, and so it was
You had a
quite
variety of
diverse.
tasks.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to ask you more about that. We're
Okay.
going to want to hear about the technologies and the daily tasks.
Hmm.
But I'm sure that you liked the job you were doing, at least in the
Yeah,
meanwhile, having graduated and trying to find out what is it
yeah.
that you really want to pursue.
Yeah, I really liked it. I had the choice kind of if I wanted to go towards only development in the core team,
Hmm.
but I was really liking what I was doing, so I
Okay.
stayed in that team for
Okay.
longer than I thought. So
And I'm
yeah,
sure they were lucky to have you.
thank you.
Thank you, Fairy. So, by the way, Fairy, we call her all blue. That's a secret I'm sharing.
Yeah.
So, who would like to go next? Should I select or? Livia?
Yeah, I can go next. No problem. Uh, so I'm Livia. I've been in Canada for 5 years and a half now. I'm Brazilian, so my well, actually now I'm working as an SAP BI analyst for ArcelorMittal here. It's a mining company, and but before that, I actually have a business background. And in Brazil, I have a business graduation. I worked for a couple of years in business, doing mostly marketing and some, we can say, analysis and the sales analysis and these things. Then after that, I found a job in IT, even though I had only business analysis background, and it was with SAP. And I worked for a couple of years for that job too. And then we came to Canada, and I started studying computer science, like the girls. We were all in the same class. That was great. Uh, and after we graduated here, I started working with ArcelorMittal, with SAP BI in general. It's not only one technology, but it's mostly SAP. And I've been there for 2 years and a half now. Um, yeah, that's it.
That's wonderful. And I love that. I want to come back to that later, how so far Fary is from biology background, you're from business background, and I'm sure now Elena and Manpreet are going to introduce their varied backgrounds. And my next question to you will be, after I hear their answers, is what made you then switch to computer science? So Elena, let's go with you, please. Introduce yourself. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Elena and I'm from Bulgaria. I have a 7 years old boy. My background is in accounting, internal audit, and I used to work mainly in a banks in Bulgaria with finance. And here I started to study computer science in the college with all my friends here and with the amazing teacher Nariman. That was our, how to say, motivation and inspiration for women in IT technology.
Yeah, you're doing like a side advertisement right now. It's okay, don't worry.
No, that's
But
the
thank
truth.
you for that.
In all the difficult moments that I used to have here, you are like my motivation and inspiration that
Thank
we
you.
can do
It's true. It was
Thank you,
always
but
the
all
case
of
for
you
all of
are.
us.
But for me too, you are all motivation. So it's good.
Thank
It's
you.
this is the way things should always be. It's a give and take relationship of love and support. So I'm blessed to have you as well.
because sometimes it's not easy to go to school, to switch your career, to study in different language, to have a kid to take care of. Even that to have a kid, it gives you another power to be more stronger in everything. So we really need that motivation from you. And we
Thank
were
you.
very happy, and learning IT in College Lasalle for me was a great experience with all the friends I found there.
And what is
And
your job title now,
after
Elena?
that, I continued to do my internship in LaSalle College, and now I'm
Hmm.
working there as a junior developer.
Okay.
But I mainly work with the CRM system, and
Hmm.
I do a lot of support for CRM and also analysis and CRM configuration
Okay.
for different projects that we have with many campuses all over the world.
All right. Thank you for
And
that.
yeah, and I really like that. For me, how it started the school, it's continued to be in my job. That the team is important. We have many colleagues from all around the world, and it's a great
That's true.
experience.
That is very true. That is one of the biggest pluses and advantages that we have, is that
Yeah.
a diverse community
Mhm.
where we get to know each others and know about different places around the world. It's very enriching. Yes, I
Yeah.
agree with you. Thank you, Elena. Manpreet? You
Oh.
need to unmute your mic, please.
Oops, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It happens to all of us.
Yeah.
I'm always like that in my meetings. I'm talking and someone is like, "Oh, you are muted." So my name is Manpreet Kaur and I am from India. I did my high school from India and then I came here to pursue computer science. And now I am working in a software company. It's called Pastone, and I am a PHP developer over there since more than 2 years, I think. And I'm really lucky to have all of you strong girls in my life. And I'm really lucky that I always have a group of women around me. When I was at college, we had this wind. Now I'm at my work, and we also have a group of women there. Fary knows we had a team
Mhm.
for women, and we used to go out and we discuss our problems, and it
That's
was really
amazing.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
is really nice. And was it the
yeah.
initiative of the employees to do this, or was it something that the company encouraged?
I think it's you. I think you gave us the idea that you that we should form. So me, Fary, Zoe, we were from the school, and we knew that we had this a team at the college. We should do same thing here, so
Okay.
we can discuss more about our company culture, about how is everybody doing in their fields and
Wow,
their struggles. So it was really nice. It is really nice. We
that
still
is
have it here.
amazing. That is
Yeah,
amazing. That is so nice to hear,
yeah.
Manpreet. Thank you for sharing that.
You're
Um,
welcome.
so, Manpreet, what made you choose computer science? If I start with you.
I was always fascinated with computers, and back home it was in India, they not only in India, like all over the world, we know that it's a male dominated the field, computer science. And I always wanted to prove myself, no, I'm no less than a boy. So I always wanted to like I was always fascinated with the cars and with the machineries. And I wanted to prove that I am not only the girl who loves pink color, and I'm about all about designs. So it all started from back home. It was an influence from my family. I had a lot of cousins who were engineers, but they were always my parents were always like, "Oh, you will be a doctor, or you will be a nurse," or they were always
Typical
seeing me in
parents.
so I was like, no, no, I am not going to be that. I will show you what I'm going to be. And now I think they are really proud of me, what I am today.
And you need to be very
Yeah.
proud of yourself too.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Do you find that working in IT or working
Mhm.
in computer science have increased your confidence in yourself?
Exactly. I had zero confidence when I started, and still I think I don't have much confidence. But in the beginning, I will literally write code and I delete it. No, why is it not working in first shot? Because
Mm-hmm.
I did not had any confidence. But later, with pair programming and with mentors, I learned that it's normal that it's not working, and it's not like you don't have confidence. You should have
Mm-hmm.
confidence. So 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 they so I learned that it's normal, that it's something doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
You need to spend time, you need to you know study, you need to read the documentation to make it work. Now I have more confidence. Before I thought, when we were on a table, and I did not had any confidence to speak up, and my voice is so low.
Low.
And then I will speak, and I will think in my mind, is it stupid question? But I
Mm-hmm.
don't think guys think this way, that if I'm gonna ask this question, it's gonna sound stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And I
It's in
think
your
now
head.
I have, yeah, should I ask this question? Is it gonna sound stupid? They're gonna think, oh, this girl doesn't know. This is
Mm-hmm.
just the beginning. She doesn't know it. But now I think, and my team is very supportive. They are
Okay.
really very supportive. They always encourage me, if you don't understand, you can ask, and
Mm-hmm.
they explain it.
That's very
So now I
important.
think, yeah, now I think with time I have more confidence. I can in the middle of a meeting I can say, stop, I don't understand this. Why? And I can ask more whys.
You
Yeah, I
have
think
you have developed this expert in IT personality who knows
yeah.
when is it that it's because I don't know I need to ask, or when is it
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah,
I how do I say, like, when is it because of lack of knowledge, or when is it lack of
exactly.
understanding, which is two
Uh-huh.
completely different things. What about you, Elena?
Exactly.
Thank you, Manpreet.
You're welcome.
For me, it was not my choice, actually. It was the father of my son choice for me because I
Okay.
wanted to study graphical design or something different that it's you always will find a job, you can work from home. But at that time, there was, because it was January, that program was not offered. I think, I don't know what was, I couldn't find the program in English. And then I did the IT test. He said, do that test. You have a logical thinking. You always think if then in that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I did the test, and only following the woman intuition, I was able to do all the logical task.
We
And I
are
was
so
able
good by
to send
default.
it. You see? And I say, you know what? I enjoy so much to do that test. If that is programming, let's do
Yes.
it.
Yes, yes. So we were lucky, by coincidence, you landed in the right place.
Yes, I
Do you
didn't
regret the
believe it.
decision?
I'm going to love it so much in your class, the math class, and all other class after that. I say, wow, I was born to do that. I love it.
Okay, good,
Yes,
good.
I'm, and IT is so many things that you can do. You can still be graphical designer if you want, because we
Absolutely.
have the background of the IT help you for many other jobs that we even didn't know that exist until you start to work.
That's right. And do you find that your confidence level, having this title that I work in IT, do you find that your confidence level has increased since you were a student comparing yourself now with then?
I will start again that you help me. You are the person who helped me most for my self
I think
confidence.
now everybody's going to think the purpose of this panel is just for me
No,
to
but that's true
just
because
focus on
I didn't have
yourself.
my self confidence, and sometimes you need to
Thank
meet
you,
a
Elena.
woman like you that give her hands, so you start to
Thank
believe
you.
in yourself. And then I start to have to be more strong with my experience.
Mhm.
When you do your task, your job day by day, and then you see, wow, I can do it, I can do it. And
That's
then
right.
you start to believe in yourself.
I think for everybody, regardless of our gender, it's experience and practice that always allows us to know more, and then our confidence level will definitely increase. Because when you are new in the industry, you don't know what to expect. But with experience, I'm sure if each one of you thinks about what you know now compared to when you started, you'll be like, oh my God, the things I was thinking, the mistakes I was doing, now it's history. What do you think, Livia?
I agree completely. If I see myself right after college and I compare myself with who I am right now, I see I'm a completely different person and professional. I learned so much in those 2 years that I've been working here, learning things that I never thought I was going to learn, doing things that I never thought I was going to do. It's very, very stimulating and motivating to know and learn all those things and know still there's so much more to learn. That's amazing. Talking a bit why
Mm-hmm.
I migrated from business to IT. I was a bit like Manpreet, always intrigued about technology and how things work, even though in my family there's no women that has ever worked with IT. Uh, I was always like that. I always had that thing in my mind saying that should be interesting. Maybe that's something you should pursue. And when I started working with IT, but only with my business background back in Brazil, often I would heard things like that in work. People saying, you don't understand that because you're not from IT. And I thought, well, I'm not from IT, but I'm still doing my job and I'm learning every day. But okay, I'm not from IT. And One
But
day I
you
just,
know, Elena, sorry to cut you off, but you know that even we always have this feeling at the beginning, because women in IT is a concept that it wasn't new. It's women started in computer science, then they weren't, then they are. But we have this feeling of being imposters always. Like, are we
always.
accepted? Are we doing things right? Like what Manpreet said, am I asking the right question? I'm sure a guy, also maybe a new male in computer science, goes through this process, is afraid, says, am I asking the right question? But knows that even if probably they were to say it, I mean, is it the same reaction as if it was a female, just because there's a more majority versus minority?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it the market is a bit different if you're a male than a female. Maybe people are a bit less tolerant
Mm-hmm.
and a little less patient.
Okay.
But for me, this has never been a problem. Maybe I was lucky, but
It didn't
it's always,
stop you.
no, not at all, not at all. It never bothered me that much either. I but I also didn't have many negative experiences. I believe everybody goes through some easier times, some harder
Mm-hmm.
times at work, at your professional life, at the same as your personal life,
Mm-hmm.
and that's completely normal, and it's okay. It's life. Uh, but it was a bit because of this curiosity, and I always wanted to know more about IT, that I decided just to quit my job and come here and really study computer science, really starting to learn how to program and how to better understand the IT world. And that was my main motivation to come here and restart my life. And I don't regret that for a second. I believe we're much better now here with our actual jobs than we were before. We were much happier, and I'm loving this career path that we choose for ourselves.
I'm so happy to hear that. And I think you said something extremely important, that we are all going to have these challenges, but what matters is on the inside. If this is really something you want, you shouldn't let other people's perspective affect your objectives and your goals and your way of doing things. You will always have people that might not want you to get where you want to go, or they might see it differently. They might not see that you're worth it or deserving, but it doesn't mean that it's true. So it's always about you changing perspective, not waiting for others necessarily to change perspective. That's my opinion on that. So Fary, why did you choose computer science?
As I mentioned before, I had done other stuff a lot. Like I wasn't ever a biologist really, but the only thing I did in biology was like a startup that we started in Iran when I was still living in Iran before my immigration to Canada. And that was a little bit related to biology, but it was mostly business in general. And when I came here, because most of my time I had worked in that startup, I couldn't say I have this specific skill or I have this profession. So that helped me to actually, like, that kind of forced me to the situation that I was like, okay, what I'm supposed to do now. Then I needed to start from somewhere. And for me, computer science was like a gate. It was a gate to a world that was quite unknown to me. Whatever I knew about computer science was like a little bit of programming touch that we had at school long ago, which I really had liked it. So it was a positive first impression. At the same time, I knew that it's huge as in terms of job positions, the diversity of the things that you can do, the whole field of technology. So I was like, okay, I can start with studying computer science to see how I feel about it. How do I like it? Because everything seemed like I might like this field in general. I might find something in that because it's big. It's changing a lot. It's changing the world. So I wanted to be part of it. That was how I decided to start learning computer science. Telling myself that you don't need to pursue it if you don't like it. It's just you're gonna learn more. You need that knowledge anyway for your life. I was feeling like I don't know enough about computers. As much as it's all over the world, everywhere. I don't know much. So I was like, even if I don't want to pursue a computer science career, I need to know a lot more. I need to have some training in that field. So I started without having any prior expectation that much. And I liked it. I really liked it. And still to this day, I'm trying to figure out which part of it I'm going to go, because the more I find out and explore about the diversity of the job positions, the more I'm asking myself, okay, where do you want to go? What do you want to do? Which type of job is going to satisfy your needs and make you happy in your everyday life? So I'm still evolving that way. So, yeah.
And that's normal.
Mm.
Um, I want to actually jump, since we were on this topic. Maybe I can go with that. Um, we Livia and Fary, you were with me a few years ago in one of the conferences about women, and I think you remember the whole conference was for women, by women, about
Yeah.
women, and there was a section where there was a few male participants, and the whole idea of the
I remember.
activity was to encourage women and make them feel that there's a place for you. You are equal to us as males in the industry, etc. And then the speaker said, welcome to welcome
Our word,
our
something like
world,
that. Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that
yeah.
destroyed the moment of who said it's your world. So we know that there is a lot of movement in the industry to welcome women in computer science, in IT, in diverse fields and job titles. But that doesn't mean that on the ground, like Livia was mentioning earlier, that on the ground it means that it is really all happy and welcoming and supportive. It depends where you work. It depends
Yeah.
on the mentality of people. So if I could hear maybe just for about 2 minutes from each one of you, what are the normal challenges that you deal with? Maybe it doesn't have to be as a woman in IT. It could be about certain technologies, certain knowledge you don't have. What is the challenges that you feel after working in the industry for 2.5 years that you have been living and you still live till today? I'll let any of you jump in if I feel like Livia, you wanna start. Go ahead.
Yeah. So for me, uh, first of all, right now in the team, I'm the only female where I work. That's one thing. Uh, but this the environment is really good, and the boys are very nice. I feel very welcome there, and I don't feel like they treat me differently only because I'm a woman. But yes, of course, I would like to have another woman there to make me a little company, and maybe we could discuss other topics that we don't usually discuss only with the boys. But it's good. In general, regarding the people that work there, it's good. What I feel like it's been a challenge for me, especially in the last year, almost year and a half, is that I'm alone there in the BI sector. When I arrived there, we were 3 people, and then we were two, and now we're only one. And that's not because the company didn't want to have more people in the team. It was their choice to leave for different reasons. But for me, since I've been there all alone, I've been, well, of course, there's more pressure for me to finish my projects and also deal with all kinds of things without having any help at all of other people. Nobody there really understands what I do. Even my boss, he doesn't know at all what I do.
So how do you
uh,
cope with that? How do you cope? Because I'm sure this is going to be a common point for most of you, is that when there's something you don't know on the
uh,
job, how do you then improve yourself?
Google is your best friend.
Okay.
That's like the best tip that I could ever give to someone that is starting with IT. Google is your best friend. You can find all kinds of things online, all kinds of problems that you're experiencing now. Most likely, someone has already experienced. So sometimes I have a problem that I don't know how to fix. I go there. Sometimes I have like 10 tabs open, and each tab gives me a piece of information that I need to solve my own problem. And then that's how we do. I often am, am able to solve my problems at work, my technical problems, only with Google. And I believe that's kind of normal. It's like what everybody does. Even the people that I work with that have much more experience than I do. We have people there that have been working with the same system for 10 years or more, and they're always on Google too. Nobody knows everything. It's super normal to Google when you don't know. It's when I go, well, not this year because of the pandemic, but when I went from my table to someone else, it was very often that I would go there and I would see Google page open and people just trying to find on the internet answers for the things that they didn't know.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Livia. So, Elena, I'll ask you the question with an added value is, how do you find the time then outside of your job, if you want to improve yourself, having a child and other responsibilities?
First, I will start with the challenges. I
Yes.
think our big one is why it's not working. And what is that error message I never see before? But
Absolutely.
I think that this is where you have to love what you're working, because when you see that, you know that you can do it. And the best feeling is when you make it work. And I'm lucky because I have my colleagues, my team. I'm not like Livia. We have like a team that they can help you, you help, they help, all the time we help each other. And that's why I say that for me it's like in the college, because there's people to ask you, there is always Google there, and of course now we're in a level that we can go over ourselves and we can be better than we are just by the problems make us strong. All these challenges make us think more, find another solution, find another way that we never thought it exists. And that is the best in our profession. And for me, I have always free time after 9 when my son is sleeping. 8,
Okay.
8:30 is the
Okay.
time that I can relax, I can cook, I can improve myself, I can have time for myself. So it's not so bad.
That's really great to hear. So, Manpreet, what do you tell yourself to keep on going when these challenges happen so you get over them?
I think I think since the beginning I was stubborn. I learned how to hang in a situation, and we were discussing it with Livia too. And I was saying, like, I feel like I'm gonna die after this if this doesn't work. I'm gonna die if
I
my
remember
thing doesn't work.
Manpreet's.
And she is
I'm
like,
gonna tell them on you. I remember Manpreet's famous expression all the time. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna
I'm gonna.
die.
And
I
Livia
can't
was
do
like,
this.
and Livia was like, and I shared it with Livia, and she said that yes, she has the same situation, but we just need to hang in there. It's temporary. Everything is gonna go. Everything is temporary. And I think over the time I have learned that I don't I don't need to be nervous and think that people are gonna judge if so and so. So I think I was too much underestimating myself. But this pandemic has taught me that I am valuable. I really like I don't want to
I just want to reach out and
say,
give
but
you a hug right now.
thank you so much. But really, this pandemic really taught me that I am valuable and I should not underestimate myself. I am stubborn. I am stubborn, and I can do if I think I need to do this thing, I'm gonna reach there. I'm gonna work hard and I'm gonna reach there, and I'm valuable for sure.
Absolutely. I think from all of the stuff you've been saying, we have pulled out some really valuable advice already so far, even though I didn't ask you flat out. The question is what advice you give, but you've all said
Hmm.
wonderful things. Stuff like, don't worry, it shall pass. A problem is not going to always be there. You've got to believe in yourself. You've got to love something. You've got to hang in
Yeah,
there. You need to be stubborn and persistent, not to give up on
yeah,
yourself. If you're stuck, you need to go find solutions. So it's
yeah.
even if you don't have a support
Hmm.
system, I think
Yeah.
also it's just to acknowledge that we have different personalities and we need to dig
Hmm.
deep. So I'm so glad, Manpreet, you did that. You need to dig deep
Hmm.
into yourself and you might find jewels. You might find
Hmm.
really important um, features about yourself that you never realized. It's only in a challenge that you realize, no, I'm
Exactly.
resilient. No, I am going to do this. So, but if you give up on yourself and you say, oh, no, it cannot be, I cannot do it, then you're probably giving up on a great opportunity in your life. So I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy to hear that. Does that mean we're not going to hear the expression, I'm going to die?
Yeah.
Good.
It's just because I feel so much connected, and I feel like this is my job. Why I cannot do this? This is the if my thing is not done, this is the end of the world. Like if
Yes.
I
Because you
am
want it to work.
something I'm paid for. Yeah. And also I've been really lucky that I have so nice people in my life
Hmm.
since the college. My workplace is so nice. We always have a knowledge transfer task on every PBI. We say the group of tasks that we have. We always have a knowledge transfer task in that group of tasks. So
Hmm.
if anyone is stuck, you go to your senior, you go to your colleague, and you ask them, and they can track their time without thinking, oh, that they're losing time. So
Hmm.
it's really nice. They can help you, and they don't think that they are losing time by spending time on you. So yeah.
Thank you, Manpreet. So, Fary, from
Mhm.
that, I want you to also maybe focus on telling us, have you felt over time in your job that going to ask a colleague for help is okay? Is it one of the first things you do, the last things you should do? So, when you're challenged, how do you go about solving it?
Well, for me as well, at first, it was really hard to ask questions because you know that you're confused. There are a lot of things you have no idea about. So you're like, which question is the right questions? Which part of it I'm supposed to know and I don't know? This is usually the first thought that comes. And I was panicking at the beginning. Sometimes I was like, but this I'm supposed to know. No, I was looking at the other junior guys that do they know about that? Like, it was hard for me to actually find out that it's fine. I am a junior, like they know that I'm out of school. Nobody's expecting me to know everything. So it's normal, it's natural. The only thing is they don't know maybe what exactly, because there are things that for them it's a default. If they, it's basically them who haven't realized yet that me out of school, I might have no idea yet. They might, there might be very simple terms or very simple procedures or anything that not knowing it is going to be like, what are they talking about? Like, where am I? But eventually, as Manpreet said, because the we were working together, so the whole support system in the at work helped us to realize it earlier, maybe that we are supposed to ask questions. We need to ask questions, and it's normal. They kept saying that to us, all of us juniors that we were just hired, that it's normal, ask us. If you don't know anything, ask, because there are a lot variety of things that you shouldn't be knowing at all. Also, for me at the beginning, I was trying to compare myself with some people that were, for some reason, they were knowing a little bit more than I. Was like, what does that mean? So it took me a little bit of time to realize there's no comparison. No person is supposed to be like the other one. You are valuable as much as you are, and it's your place, nobody else's. So it took some time. It needs the it needs to, I mean, I
Needs to
needed to
cook.
experience, like I had to go through that. I had to go
Mhm,
through the moments that I panic a little bit, and then I'm like, I don't know,
mhm,
not talking about what's going on, and I'm not understanding probably
mhm.
everything. But it eventually it gets better. Like, it's a natural process. It's just we need to know that it's gonna pass, and we need to hang in there, and we are right to have questions. We are right not to know some stuff. It's
Mhm.
just the people around us need to see that we actually try our best to learn.
Yes.
That is very important. The willing that you show that you want to learn, you're ready to do that. You're ready to work on that
Mhm.
on your own and ask people for help, both
That's very
together.
true. Thank you, Fary. That's very true. So, Manpreet, I will go to you. I want to know, what advice would you give today, a student graduating?
Mhm.
Do you remember the moment when you were graduating and you were
Yeah.
scared? Like, am I ready enough? Do I know enough to find a job? What if they ask me this? What are they expecting? Maybe if you can, again, in 2 minutes,
Yeah.
summarize what do you know today that you wish you knew then,
Mhm.
but of course you know it because of your own experience, that you can tell them
Mhm.
about, to help them out, please? Thank you.
So the way I did it, that I always wanted to know my progress. So I asked my manager what I did in the beginning, because I was very nervous and I didn't know if what I am doing, the efforts that I'm putting, they are they are sufficient enough for the company. So I took a one-on-one meeting with my manager, and I told him that I don't want this to be very often, like 1 in 6 months. I said I need this every month, until I hear that okay, this is good. Now I am good. I am on the track. So he was very happy and he said okay. So he scheduled every month a one-on-one meeting with me to discuss what you did in the sprint in the past 3 weeks. How was it? So I asked him to ask my seniors, the people I'm working with, that how is she, that, like, what should I not do and what should I do? Am I asking too much? Should I search on myself, my on my how is my approach, how is my analysis?
Your
So
level
he
level
was
of independence, you wanted to know if it's
exactly
okay or not. Yeah.
a level of independence and everything else too. So the way I am approaching for a solution is good. How, what should I read, where is the documentation and everything else. So he was really happy. And in one of the meeting he said that it's really nice that you want to pursue to sweep uh sweep
To follow
how do
up
you
and
to follow
improve.
up. Yeah. To follow your progress. And he was, it's really a positive thing that you want to know where you are, how is your progress. You always you want to know your faults. And also I think everyone should be, like I said, I was stubborn. If I had a problem, it's the end of my world, and it still is the end of my world. I'm gonna die if I cannot solve it. So I think everyone should have this attitude. Not die,
No.
not
No.
not die, not die, not die, but at least that this is that you have to do this in any cost. Like, you
Mhm.
need to hang in there, and you need to do everything possible to make it happen.
Okay, so
And yeah,
persistence, and that it's okay to know your
yeah,
weaknesses and your faults. You need the
yeah,
feedback to help you improve.
yeah,
Okay, thank you,
yeah.
Manpreet. So, Livia,
No
what
problem.
do you think? She's still saying it's the end of the world.
I love her answer.
You have to think that way. It's what I tell
No.
my students all the time, don't stress, stay positive, and then here comes Manpreet and completely destroys that.
The end in a positive way. The end of the world in a positive way.
No, yeah,
You're
no,
not.
I totally agree. We already discussed that,
We
and
already discussed it. Yeah.
yeah, and I totally agree. It's not that you're going to die, of course, but I think it's nice when you care enough about your job, when you
Absolutely.
care enough that you feel bothered if you don't find the answer. You feel like I have to find this. It doesn't matter if it takes time. I'm going to find out the answer, and you have to be patient, of course, because sometimes the answer doesn't come like that. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it comes on your
Hmm.
sleep or when you're taking a shower or something like that. It happens. But also, when it doesn't, you have to be patient, and you have to search, and you have to try different things, different techniques, until you find something that finally works. And I think Manpreet agrees with me that this usually happens. Like, you are
Yes, yes,
usually able to solve your problems,
yes.
and when you do it, it's like the best feeling you can ever have.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it makes
You're gonna
worth it.
live.
So
Then I
you
feel
you
like
go
I'm
back to
gonna.
life
Until
again.
until the
You can
other
go back
problem
living.
until the other problem shows up.
Yeah. Exactly.
So you're talking about the passion, the driving force, that
Yeah.
passion about and feeling responsible. And actually, that's what drives people to success. If you're not passionate about something and you feel careless about it, then you're not going to shine. But when you're passionate, that's how you make it. And that's, I'm sure, 100% also how Livia makes it, being the only expert in her field right now in the company, working on her own, and still going through. And I know we've had so many talks, Livia, about the difficulties you've experienced at so many times, but what pulled you through is the passion and determination. I can do this, and I'm going to prove that I can do it, and I'm not going to
Exactly.
let my lack of experience or lack of knowledge stop me, because I don't know it now. I will do everything I will know it. And that is the advice that I
Exactly.
want all everybody hearing our webinar to know is, it doesn't matter if you don't know now. What matters is you're aware of that. What are you going to do about it? Right? So, Fary, I see you're agreeing. What is it that you give as advice for students, be it everybody or specifically the women or the girls in computer science, to know so that they hang in there and they succeed?
Yeah, well, when we are new in this, we can't imagine the the huge problem, as Manpreet said, when we feel like, oh, we're gonna die, this is not gonna be solved. We cannot imagine something, like we cannot imagine ourselves passing this. this is going to scare us the most, especially at the beginning when we start the job. And just to know that it's natural, it's like everybody has gone through that. So just
Mhm.
stay there and try to think, try not to panic, because sometimes it affects us without even realizing it. We feel really down, we feel like we are paralyzed because there was a mistake, or something happened that wasn't supposed to happen, and then we are like, oh, what am I supposed to do? But just to learn to come down is going to take a little bit of time, but we should be sure that it's going to happen. The skill of not losing it when something is not working, and stay calm in order to take the better decision, to take the time to find out how to look for the solution, how to ask the question, what are the questions we have to ask, when do we Google it, as we do it all the time, and we have to do it as Livia said it nicely. And this is something, at the beginning it's gonna come out hard for sure, but just to know that everybody went through this, and we are all of us, we are agreeing on that. We all had that those hard moments. And when you keep when you get to experience getting over it, to experience finding the solution, this is gonna bring the actual confidence in you. So just
So that the challenge and the struggle is absolutely normal. Don't
exactly,
fight it, embrace it, better your skills, face it, live with it, and things will get better.
exactly.
Very, very nicely said,
Thank you.
Fary. Thank you. And Elena, what had
I
helped you succeed, and what do you wish you knew when you started looking for a job, or when you were graduating, that was scaring you the most, and now you realize that was really unnecessary? I I can do this.
I can say that my experience is the opposite of what everybody said until now, because all the time I was so scared. I was so
Yes.
afraid how I'm going to find a job, how I'm going to do it. So I needed to save myself. Oh, Elena, this is just a job. You're not going
Mhm.
to die. But even the opposite. What? You can do it. See, all people around you, they don't want to kill you. They want to help you. You are a team. They are friends. So I was completely positive motivation to turn
Mhm.
off all my scare, because otherwise I cannot do anything. Then I
Yes.
focus on the simple task. Wherever you go, they will start to give you a simple task. I
Mhm.
step task by task, step by step. That's how
Who
I
wants to
find
do this task?
my
Me. Elena is on. Give me the simple
give you the
tasks.
task, yeah. And in the end of the world, I say, wow, I didn't die. I survived. I did it every day like that. That is the weekend. The whole week I did it. But for me, it was the opposite. I needed to say to myself, I'm not going there to die. I'm going there to do my best to work. This is a work. This is a job. This is something
Yes.
simple to do. I needed to put that thoughts in my mind, because otherwise I'll be
Yeah,
scared
you will panic,
to
and
perform
it's,
anything.
I
Yes.
understand. So, knowing that right now, unfortunately, we're all dealing with a pandemic for a while, and the virus had changed the way we live, our daily lives, and the way we do our jobs. So, can you briefly tell me, how did this affect your job? How do you how are you surviving it? So we give out hope to the students about some tips. I know we're all struggling with that. We might not have the perfect answer, but how are you adapting with your jobs and with your personal lives?
Yeah, for me it was difficult the first week, the second week, but after that I started to focus on the positive things, and there were to wear comfortable clothes in the break, to do bicycle or to do yoga or to go to the river just very fast with the bicycle to
You're
see the
working from
beautiful
home,
nature.
Livia? You are working from home
I'm working from home,
remotely?
yes,
Okay,
yes.
all
And
right.
then to come back and even to read the book in the break. And then you have more time for your family, for your kids. Like I enjoy to walk with my son to school, not stress about the time, how will go on time to school, how will go on time to work, because I'm the one pick him up every day, bring him home. So in that way, I felt more relaxed. Also, you can sleep more because you don't need to wake up early to travel 1 hour and a half. So I think as a programmers, we always have this. There is a problem, there is a solution. So we always focus on the solution. Wherever situation there is a solution. And that's my advice for
Absolutely.
everything, for life, for everything, for
Thank
your
you.
work. Yes.
Yeah,
And
that's
thank
a
you.
really good advice, Elena. I agree. Who would like to share with us how they're surviving next? So it's not me always imposing.
Okay, I will go next. For me, it was very hard in the beginning because I brought my whole setup from the office home, like all because it was really hard to work on a remote desktop. It was hard to develop, so I brought my whole setup, my CPU, and we didn't had enough space to put my stuff, so I adjusted it in my bedroom, and all the time, even even after work, I was feeling like I should work. Like my work is not finished. My setup is right in front of me, and how can I leave this thing in the middle? Like if I'm working on something and it's too late, like 6, I lost a track. Where should I stop? I mixed it up in the beginning. I was all the time in the work. Then I said, okay, stop, and I said, okay, now I need to think how what should I do to to get over this. And we also had a meeting with the girls. I don't know if Fary was a part of this, and and we found out everybody has this situation. Like we girls, all of the girls had this meeting that everybody was mixing up their work with their personal time. So now with the time, I learned how where to stop, at what time to stop. Now I am totally okay. Like if need to stop at 5, I stop at 5. No, I don't look at my setup. Okay, it's not the time. So I think now it's I'm more relaxed, and I learned how to, because it was really new. I never worked from home,
Hmm.
and working from home, I felt like I need to work all the time. I am home, I need to work. So I think I misunderstood that concept, but now
Okay.
I have learned. Now I am more relaxed. Now if my meeting is at 9, I will woke up at 15 minutes before. I don't care.
Oh,
Now I learned what it is to work, and now I'm enjoying it that I get to sleep more.
that's true. That's true. So
But
it's really
it
good.
took time. It took time to understand what work from home is and how to manage my time between my personal and this work
I
related
think
stuff.
most of the students also will agree with you because what I'm noticing with a lot of the students for the 8 o'clock classes is they wake up at 7:55
Yeah,
because I'm seeing
yeah,
hairdos and faces that look like they just jumped out of bed. Livia?
yeah.
Yeah. First of all, I think we're lucky in some ways to be in IT because we're able to bring our work home and keep working normally, well, almost normally, because other sectors are not as lucky as we do and they just can't keep working. And for us, we only need a computer and internet connection, and we are ready to start working. That's amazing. That's one of the things that I love. Uh, Working in IT in general is that we can work not only from home but from anywhere in the world. We can do the same job and keep doing it. Um, and since the beginning of the pandemic, since March, we work from home. And for me, I believe it was not as difficult, maybe because I really like to stay at home. So I really enjoyed to be able to wake up later, and when it's 5 o'clock, I'm already home. That's a big advantage too.
That's very
Uh,
true.
and you can enjoy your time after work more than before. And
Yes.
yeah, I like that part. Of course, it's difficult when you have to talk to people, when you cannot simply just go there to their office and talk face to face.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's better to have a conversation face to face
That's true.
than in a computer. But I think we can keep working normally. The work doesn't change at all. We work the same. If I were
Mhm.
in the office or I'm home, my work is exactly the same,
Okay.
and we're able to keep doing it. So I believe this doesn't affect us very much.
Okay.
And we're very lucky.
Yes, you're very true, even for us as a computer science department at the college, because we are easily able to adapt to the use of IT, moving from the face-to-face to online. I think we had I don't want to say the easiest time, but it was the least challenging. So we are lucky in that manner. Thank you for sharing that, Livia. And Fary?
For me, the pandemic was a whole different experience. I remember I was feeling so lucky whenever we were supposed to bring, like, I could get to work from home. I really
Mm-hmm.
like to do that. But the pandemic itself, it was triggering some sort of um, phobia that I had from before, panic
Mm-hmm.
attacks and stuff. So when it started, it kind of pushed that wrong button,
Mm-hmm.
and I was freaking out. So I had to stop working, telling my boss that I'm mentally not available.
Mm-hmm.
And he was really understanding. He was trying to keep contact with me to see if I'm okay and everything. And I eventually told him, if you let me go, it's going to stress me less, because every day I'm thinking about, I'm
I
not in the
have to go
team,
back.
what
Yeah.
they're doing in the team without me. That was stressing me because I was vulnerable mentally. So he helped me, and eventually they were like, okay, you're ready. If you want to go, go.
Mm-hmm.
We lay you off if you really want that. So, and because I knew the help of the government, and I wasn't ready mentally to deal
Mm-hmm.
with the word first,
Mm-hmm.
and then after that with the job. So I took the time of summer, and I told myself, I'm not going to think about the job for now, because first I need to take care of myself. So I started doing things that's going to make me feel
Improve.
better, because I'm a social person. I'm all the time seeing my friends, having gatherings, hangouts and everything, and all of that was supposed to end. um, and this was too much, adding to the issue that I had from before. And this was strong, like this was really heavy to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I needed to help myself. I tried to do that, and I started doing different activities. Like, I bought this microphone to sing sometimes for my own. I record myself
That's wonderful.
making noises
Mm.
sometimes, and uh, I do make some little sculptures. I try to get connected with myself in
Mm-hmm.
another ways. At the same time, I try to, because we are lucky having almost everything online. I got to do some courses online to keep myself up to date as well. Like,
Mm-hmm.
eventually, when I felt a little bit better, and I started buying more plants in my room just to take care of them. Like, little by little, I try to find other things that may make me happier,
That's wonderful.
and I feel much better, and I feel like I had a great summer, even though it wasn't a normal usual
Yes,
summer, but
yes.
I had a good one, and I'm now really ready to go back to work with my a little bit new skills that I learned.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, I'm probably able to apply for some jobs that are maybe gonna make me happier. I don't know,
Hmm.
but I'm really optimistic, and it turned out, even though hard, but it was a good experience at the end for me.
There's always a solution,
Yeah,
and that it shall pass.
yeah, yeah.
I love that approach. And I think that, thank you, Fary, for sharing that. I think the beauty, we're going to wrap it up. I'm sorry I kept you longer, but talking with you is just, we can talk for hours. I think the beauty of this is that you are different and similar in your own ways, in your approach, in your personalities, in your background, that somebody out there from the students who are listening to this, they're going to connect with one of you at a certain level. And the story that you shared gives hope. All of you, you shared hope, you shared there's always a way, and that you are living proof, you and so many other female graduates, that there is a place for you, there is a place for us in IT to be successful, to be happy. And we always have to continue to work on ourselves, to stay positive, to find ways of improving our lives, and to always reach out, is never to feel that you're alone no matter what. Be it your colleagues at work, be it your friends from school, be it your friends from your life, is to always reach out, never feel alone, and that there's always a way, even if it's not what you think it is. Like you said, Fairy, open other doors, try different things. What matters is always work on you, be happy, and never give hope. And for me, with Livia has had given us great news. If I may share, Livia is
Of
expecting a
course.
baby,
Yeah.
and we are so looking forward for having our second twin baby in the in the team. So congratulations again, Livia, and I hope everything goes through well for you and the baby. Stay safe.
Thank
Elena,
you.
you and your family, stay safe and well. Manpreet, hang in there.
Don't.
Always keep the persistence, and your smile and your willingness to always improve is what's going to make it happen. And Fairy, you have so much diverse creativity in so many ways, and I'm sure that whatever you do, you're going to succeed. Thank you so much for giving us your time today. It's really valuable. And I hope that we can have this again soon.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
Thank
much.
you
Jamie.
so much. I love you
Thank
all
you
so much.
so much.
I love you all too.
It
Thank you
was
so much.
great seeing you
Thank
all.
you.
I miss you guys so
Great to
much.
see you.
Yeah.
I miss you too.
Thank you. Uh,